What's up, Hive Mind? My name is Wade. This is the Dragon's Lair, and once again today we're talking Warhammer 40k, Tyranids. We're talking about the HQ sections. My previous video, which you guys loved, I got the most views I've ever had in my whole life. I'm so thankful for you guys out there with the views. I appreciate you. We talked about the walk rant. Now that is the Hive Tyrant that walks. Today we're going to talk about the fly rant, the Hive Tyrant that flies, the winged Hive Tyrant. As I said before, I use my walk rant to hold middle field, put that heavy venom cannon on there, turn it into a shard gullet, and then just like pow, 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 pow. Shard gullet's amazing. My fly rant, on the other hand, is my character killer. He's good for fighting a knight. He's good for taking out the HQ or the character sections of your opponent's army. He's great for wiping just an infantry squad or a vehicle. He's an amazing, amazing model. I love the fly rant. There are some things that I want to say before I get into it. Go ahead and check out the walk rant video. There is going to be some synergy between the two, and there is going to be some overlap. There are going to be some differences, but there's going to be some overlap. So check that out, because I do run a fly rant and a walk rant. If the points hold out, if I got enough points. A couple other things I want to say is this is a dice game. So that means it's a game of chance, and on occasion your dice will just not be with you. Don't get discouraged. Don't feel bad. You might want to do something similar to what I do, is get a set of dice and cultivate a relationship with them. So that you can pour your positivity and your love and affection into that set of dice so that it will roll well for you. I know that sounds silly, but give it a shot. As well as, I just want to add that we play this game to have fun. We play this game to have a good time. And there are some things that I'm learning, and I have some amazing friends that are out there teaching me. My friend Justin, my friend Colin, I appreciate you guys. Justin is currently teaching me how to take out super heavies with not super heavy units. I appreciate you, brother. So anyways, let's get into it. Let's talk about the walk rant, or sorry, the fly rant. Like I said before, take a look at my walk rant video. There's going to be some overlap, but not a lot. So here's the stat block that we're dealing with. Winged Hive Tyrant. Move 16. Move 16 is crazy good. I'm going to put the Adrenal Glands on, so that move is going to go up to 17, 13, 9. This is the same as the walk rant. The ballistic skill 2, weapon skills 2, goes up to 3, goes up to 4. That's the same. Alright, now here's the difference. Oh no, actually, I think that's the same. I think the walk rant is the same on strength. Yeah, anyways. But here's the big difference. The toughness. The fly rant is 1 less on the toughness. It's not a significant change, but tough 8 is different than tough 7. So it is a change. Keep your eye out for that. You gotta remember that the Winged Hive Tyrant is not as tough as the walk rant. 12 wounds is the same, 5 attacks is the same, leadership's the same. However, the walk rant is a 2+ down the board. Fly rant's a 3+ down the board. That's not really going to matter, and I'll show you why in a second. So the Winged Hive Tyrant is equipped with Monstrous Bone Sword. Great. Wonderful. That is what you need. Lash Whip. Great. Wonderful. That is what you need. Prehensile Pincer Tail. We'll get into that. And Tyrant Talons. We'll get into that. Keep it. Keep it that way is what I do. That's what I do. Coming down here, other weapon options. I see people put guns on them. Oh, I didn't show you mine. I'm sorry. I see people put guns on them, all kinds of stuff. So there's the sword. There's the Lash Whip. I chose not to put the legs on him because I wanted a serpentine effect. Check out those wings. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, so then here comes one of my biggest pieces of advice. Magnetize. Boom. You see how that wing comes off? And then, boop. See how that wing goes on? I magnetize the wings. I magnetize the arms. The arms come off. It's brilliant. It helps with carrying them, transporting them, so it's not so rigid. It also helps if you want to change out weapons at different point in time. So anyways, that is my FLY RANT. Once again, following my jungle bugs. I don't mess with guns. I don't put guns on them. Okay. So, yeah, I do the Bone Sword, Monstrous Bone Sword. That, you know, is turned into Strength 11 because I am going to put the Adrenal Glands on there. Strength 11, AP 4, 3 damage. It's so good. It's so good the way that it is. It's so good. Lash Whip, the bear gains Lash Whip keyword. Each time the bear makes a melee attack, reroll a hit roll of 1. That's great with a Tyrant. Because starting off, you only need 2. So then you're going to hit on 2+ and reroll your 1s because of the Lash Whip. Like I said before, I said in my Walk Rant video, you should expect to hit all 5 times. If you're having a bad day, 4. You should expect to hit all 5 times. I'm going to talk right now. Well, no, I'll move on. Adrenal Glands, once again, so that is moving the strength up to 8, which makes the Monstrous Bone Sword 11, which is just weird because it's not 12, which means you're not double toughing, you're not double strengthing 6 toughs. Whatever. It's just weird. It's still not bad. Then the 1-inch movement, so your move is 17, 13, and I think that's a 9 to 10. It's a lot of movement. It's a lot of movement. It's what you need. A couple things you got to remember. With a Hive Tyrant, if you have a Hive Tyrant on the board, if you have 2 Hive Tyrants on the board, one of them has to be your leadership. So, unique organism, that's either unique organism or rarefied organism. Anyways, unique organism, I think, is if you have a Hive Tyrant, it's got to be your Warlord. So think about that. If you're just going to run a Winged Hive Tyrant and a Neurothrope, for example, the Winged Hive Tyrant's gotta be your Warlord, which means he's probably pretty exposed. He's probably kinda in harm's way. So think about that. Like me, I run a Walk Rant and a Neurothrope inside of usually a patrol detachment, and then I run an auxiliary detachment or another patrol with my FLY RANT. Yeah, it's going to cost you 2 more CP, but it's worth it. Come on, 2 CP for the Walk Rant, and, or sorry, the FLY RANT and everything that's going to come with him. It's so good. It's so much power. You need it. You want it. You got to have it. Seeing that in some cases, my friends think and believe, and I'm not saying that they're necessarily wrong, I'm just saying this is what they think and believe. We used to play with just power level, but there are some things, like 90 Gaunts, for example, with Adrenal Glands and Toxin Sacs that throw the points way out of whack. And also Warriors, if you do it with Warriors. So if you do it with Warriors, it only throws the points a little out of whack. If you do it with Gaunts, it throws it mildly out of whack. If you have a big list with a lot of Warriors and a lot of Gaunts, it throws it way out of whack. We've seen that recently. So we've been playing points more recently. And anyways, the reason why I say that is in my army, pretty much everything has Adrenal Glands. If Adrenal Glands is an option, I give it to them. And then only my 2 Tyrants have Toxin Sacs. And that it comes in handy because 5 attacks, you're going to roll a 6 somewhere in there. I played a game against Justin this last weekend. He beat me. But I can tell you, I think during one combat, I rolled 2 6s, and during another combat I rolled 1 6, so it makes a difference. Also, it keeps it easy, because that way I can remember the only things in my army with toxin sacks are the 2 tyrants. So it's easy to remember. I write everything down. I've created note cards that I print on cardstock, and I just, like, and it's a data slate. So it's basically this right here within a bunch of information down below. Writing it down. So my advice that I give, some of it's good for beginners, some of it's good for mid-level players, and some of it's good for high-level players. So some advice that I would give to new players is, you know how different people learn in different ways? For me, I can memorize things better if I write it down. So I made my own, like, whether you want to call them data slates or character sheets or whatever. I made my own. It fits on, it's like the size of a big note card. I print 4 of them on a piece of cardstock, and then I cut them out, and then I fill them in. Helps me remember. So anyways, and you got options here. You can replace the bone sword and lash whip. You can do different stuffs. I don't do that. Now, at this point, do not forget you have the Tyrant Talons. They're the little baby arms, which are right here. So you could make all 5 attacks with your bone sword, and then each time the bear fights, it makes 2 additional attacks with this weapon. Haha. It's not great, but it's not terrible. You know, it would be strength 8 with the Adrenal Glands, and then it's AP 3 and 1 damage. AP 3 ain't bad. You know, most of the things they fight against, they have Armor of Contempt, so AP, That bone sword AP comes down to 3. But hey, you got to do what you can do. Do the best that you can. That's all anybody can ask for. It's at this point in time that I want to bring up Warlord traits and Relics. The Warlord trait that I run with mine is Heightened Senses. Heightened Senses. Oh, I forgot about this. But this will come in handy right here. So let's talk about the Prehensile Tail. Each time the bear is selected to fight, when resolving its attacks, you can re-roll 1 hit roll or 1 wound roll. Okay. Now let's talk about Heightened Senses. So normally you're not going to have a lot of attack rolls that are going to miss. You might have 1, and you could choose to use your Prehensile Tail to re-roll that attack roll. Anyways, with Heightened Senses, you're going to re-roll all of those anyways. So take the re-roll from Heightened Senses, and then hold on to the Prehensile Tail re-roll in case you get an attack that fails to wound. A 1 or a 2, because you're not going to wound on a 1 or a 2. So you can take the re-roll and hopefully throw that wound in there. So that's a good way that Heightened Senses as a Warlord trait can synergize with Prehensile Tail. Prehensile Pincer Tail. It also allows you to fight first. Now, being able to fight first is important. It won't save you in all situations. So the way my friend Justin explains it, because this is one of the things that I have to work with, is the fight phase has like 3 parts to it. So everybody who fights first. So chargers fight first. People who have a rule that fight first, say they fight first, they fight first. So people who fight first get to participate in the charge step. Then there's everybody who doesn't have a special rule, and then there's everybody who fights last. So pretty much most people will be smack dab right in the middle, but anybody who has fights first gets to participate in the charge step. So in the charge step, the person whose turn it is going to pick. So they're going to pick a combat to work out, and then the person whose not turn it is picks. Okay, then in the after everyone who fights first goes, the person who's not turn it is picks a fight to resolve. So just regular combat after all charges are done. So having fights first takes you out of the regular phase where everybody else is and puts you up in the chargers phase. That's important. It can help you live longer. It can help you survive. So fights first, coming from Heightened Senses, rerolling all your hits coming from Heightened Senses. It's good. I like it. I think you should like it too. Next, with the Relic, I put the Reaper of Obliterex on there, and I think I'm saying it right. The two big things with the Reaper. Step one. So it doesn't replace, it adds rules to your Bone Sword. Okay? Some things replace. So when you take a Shard Gullet, A, you have to have a Venom Cannon, and B, it replaces your Venom Cannon. For other reasons, look at the Walk Ramp video. I'll explain it there. But for this, it adds rules to your monstrous Bone Sword. And so the rules that it adds is every time you successfully wound somebody, it adds a mortal wound. And then no rules can be used to ignore wounds. People will still get a save. Odds are they're not going to get a great save because of the -4 AP. People will still get an invulnerable save because this is not the sort of rule that ignores an invulnerable save. But they will not get the 5+ Feel No Pain. And talk to some people about it. What I hear is this is the rule that also ignores wound caps. So Gazgul Thraka, that crazy orc from Armageddon, that you can only deal so many wounds to him per phase, this ignores that, from what I understand. As well as Cetan. Cetan's where I normally see it. A lot of people say Catan. Where I'm from in Michigan, everybody says Cetan. So anyways, I know, we're weird up here. So anyways, I have had situations where, yeah, the Bone Sword already is dealing 3 damage a pop. So if you wound somebody 3 times with it, you're doing 3, 6, 9, and then 10, 11, 12 with the mortal wounds. 12 damage is a lot. 12 damage is a lot. And that's just if you successfully wound them 3 times. Yeah, invulnerable saves are always going to get in your way. Pretty much always get in your way, but they pretty much always get in everybody's way. So, I don't want to hear the, but invulnerable things. You just have to make people make saves. Statistically, that means if they have to roll more, they will fail more. When they fail more, they die. That's just the way it is. It's a numbers dice game. That's the way it is. Going back to abilities, Synapse. So he gives Synapse to everyone within 6 inches. Shadow of the Warp. Everyone within 18 inches gets a -1 on their tests, their psychic tests. Psychic Barrier. This is our 4+, which is great for us. Will of the Hive Mind. In our command phase, we select a core unit. Tyrant Guard our core. So Warriors, Gaunts, Tyrant Guard. I'm sure there are others. Those are the ones that I use. Beefing up your Tyrant Guard is great. It's great. Death throws. So when it's destroyed, you roll a d6 before removing from play on a 6+. The closest enemy unit within 6 suffers d3 mortal wounds. It's a great way to get back at somebody who kills them. Death from above. So this is another place where the FLY RANT varies. So during deployment, you can set up this model high in the skies instead of setting it up on the battlefield. If you do so, then during the reinforcement step, so basically this allows you to take them into reinforcements for free without paying for it. You set it up just like normal, so it's got to be 9 inches away from anybody. But here's the thing, you can reroll charge rolls. That's really good, rerolling charge rolls, because it's just greater than a 9-inch charge. Because you got to remember, it's got to be, where is it? Set this model up anywhere on the table that is more than 9 inches. So you don't set your model up 9 inches away. You got to be 9 inches in 32.90 seconds. Which is ridiculous, but anyways, more than 9 inches. Remember that. Be honest. But you get to reroll charge rolls, which is good. Let's talk about, it can attempt to manifest 2 psychic powers in your psychic phase and attempt to deny one. Odds are you're going to be in great range to cast, either A, on yourself, or B, on other people. Odds are you're going to be within 24 inches to deny. It knows Smite, which is great, and 2 psychic powers. Okay. Psychic powers I run with my Fly Rant is Catalyst, which gives you the 5+ feel no pain. I put it on myself. If it's not on I put it on the Fly Rant. If it's not already on a unit of Tyrant Guard. It's great on Tyrant Guard, but it's also good on a Fly Rant. Because the Fly Rant, you can do it so that he's like out there harassing people in the backfield, and that puts him in a lot of danger. Secondly, I put Onslaught on him. The reason why I put Onslaught on him is it allows him to move, advance, and charge. So if your movement is 17, you roll an average advance roll of a 3, you're going to be moving 20 inches before you charge. That is wonderful. That is great. On a regular size table, you should be able to get anywhere, and maybe even Alpha Strike. Depending on deployment zones as well. The size of the table, deployment zones. Let's look at keywords. Hive Tendril, I play Leviathan, so I'm running with the Synaptic Control, which is Transhuman, which means you can only ever wound me on a 4, 5, or 6. I know a lot of people are sick of it, but watch the Walk Rant video. I explain why that's characterful for my Hive Fleet, which his name is Cerebrus, by the way. Also, I use Unstoppable Swarm. This really, which is the hyper adaptation option, this really doesn't account for that because the Fly Rant flies. So don't worry about that. Monster, good. Character, good. Fly, Synapse, Psyker, Hive Tyrant, Winged Hive Tyrant, and once again I skipped over Horned Chitin, because Horned Chitin is so good. So good. Alright, so let's talk about stratagems. There are so many stratagems that I want to use for a Fly Rant. You got so many options. Adrenaline Surge is going to give him an extra D3 attacks, which is great. Rapid Regeneration. Use your Rapid Regeneration if you are in your middle tier. So that means you are 7 wounds. Nope, 6 wounds. Between 4 and 6. Use that. If you are on wound 6 and you use your Rapid Regeneration, you're going to roll a 1. It's going to happen. You're going to get a 1, but 1 is all you need to get back up into top tier to get your real murder on. Get your murder on. Imperials taste good. Tau taste good. Orcs are spicy. Chaos are really spicy if you like ghost peppers and stuff like that, but then you're hungry again afterwards because it disappears. Chaos are like super hot food, but whatever. Sisters taste good. It's all Imperium tastes good, really. Space Marines taste good. Imperial Guard tastes good. Get your murder on. Get your murder on. Anyways, and this is really the unit to do it. But back talking about Horned Chitin, Trample Charge. Trample Charge, amazing. Okay, so it's when you activate it when you've made a charge, you roll a d6. On 1, nothing happens. 2 to 4, you deal an extra 3 mortal wounds, and 5 to 6, you do 3 plus a d3. Okay, you're talking about potentially dealing 5 mortal wounds before you've done anything. Okay, Lord Discordant. I played Justin this last weekend. He beat me. I killed his Lord Discordant. I killed him effortlessly. The problem was getting to him. I got to him, and when it was time to fight, I just and dead. I see the Lord Discordant as pretty tough, but not for a Fly Rant. And I'm not teasing you, Justin, or anything like that. I'm just saying the defenses that a Tyrant has and the offenses that the Winged Tyrant has, it's got the ability to do the job. Do the job. You know, Vicious Appetite lets you reroll wounds. I really don't think you're going to need it. Here's a big deal. Here's, in my opinion, the 2 big deals. So this might be medium to high level strategy. I use these 2. I have the book open to it here. Overrun. Okay, so use this stratagem at the end of the fight phase. Okay, so at the end of the fight phase, if he's killed everybody, there's nobody in his engagement range. You use the strategy for 1 CP, and he gets to make another move. He gets to just fly 17 inches away. You can jump behind cover. Now, let's be honest, it's hard to get Mr. McWingy behind anything because his wings stick out, and oh my gosh, everybody can see him everywhere. But maybe you got a spot. Maybe you can fly 17 inches and go over something and then be completely unable to be targeted. Enemies hate it. People you fight will hate it. You fly in, you charge, you do a bunch of damage, you kill people, and then you fly away. The next thing that goes with that is Encircle the Prey. Encircle the Prey allows you just to fly up into the air. You put yourself back into reserves, and then on your next turn, you just use Death from Above. The thing with Encircle the Prey is you cannot use it the same turn that you just arrived. Okay, so there's got to be a turn in between. But to be able to, on turn 1, fly up, kill something, and then fly off the table so that nobody can shoot you, it's really good. It's wearing the best armor in the table. Best armor in the game. You can't shoot me. You just can't shoot me. I'm not on the table to be shot. So keep that in mind. Great synergies. A great unit to synergize with a Tyrant is always going to be Tyrant Guard. In the game I played against Justin, I've never done this before, and I don't know why it's ever occurred to me. We both played 3,000 points. That's a lot. It was a huge table. There was a huge no man's land in the center. It took forever to get to each other. But anyways, here's the point. My Tyrant Guard advanced up that field, and the Fly Rant and the Walk Rant were like shoulder to shoulder behind the Tyrant Guard. And I've never walked a Fly Rant up. I've always balls to the wall, flew as far as I could, as fast as I could, as hard as I could to get into combat. But this game was different. But anyways, I put 2 Tyrants behind a unit of Tyrant Guard. Tyrant Guard are good. I'm going to get 3 more. I'm going to run a 6-man of Tyrant Guard. It's going to be obnoxious. Come get me. Shard Lure. So Shard Lure is a strategy. You shoot at something, so it's 1 CP in the shooting phase. If you hit it, all you have to do is hit it. So like a Walk Rant with his Shard Gullet, hitting on 2s, hits something that you want to charge and kill, okay? And then the Fly Rant charges it, okay? The thing about Shard Lure is it gives you an extra D6, and then you get to pick the 2 D6s that you're going to get out of your 3D6. So let's talk about that. 3, 4, 3 should be your statistical average. So you're going to get a 7, a charge range of 7. You've already moved 17, advanced for 3, 20. So you're talking about a 27-inch charge, basically. I mean, it's not a 27-inch charge, but 27 total inches. Your movement, your advance, and then your charge. 27 inches. If you can't reach something in 27 inches, you get other problems. It's amazing. You should be able to Alpha Strike something. Hopefully it's a railgun, because Tau. All you Tau players out there, I love you guys. I'm just playing. Do your railgun thing. Do it hard. Do it strong. Do it. But we have to deal with you guys. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking to the Hive Mind, about Hive Mind business, and you guys taste good. You guys taste like cotton candy. I bet you didn't know that. Your biomass is delicious. Yeah, those are the best synergies that I use. So then, stack your Death from Above with your Shard Lure. So let's say you keep him off the table, you put him in reserve, because you got turn 2, okay? Which, all those decisions were made before you know that, but whatever. Not the point. Point is, when you do get to put him down, during your reinforcement step, you put him down, he's 9 inches and 27/64 away from somebody that you hit and use a shard lure on. You're going to be able to roll 3d6 for your charge, and then you're going to be able to re-roll it. Sure, you're dropping one of those d6s on the 3d6, but if you can't make a charge with rolling 3d6, keeping the 2 that you want, and you get to re-roll it, then you're having a bad day. And we all have our bad days, but that should be a sealed deal right there. That should be a sealed deal. In the end, I love the Fly Rant. Nowadays, I do take the Walk Rant as my primary. And he is the leader of my army. I would prefer it to be a Neurothrope, but whatever. He is the leader of my army, the Walk Rant. I have a whole different video about Walk Rants. Go check that out. I will take a Winged Hive Tyrant in a separate detachment, an auxiliary detachment, or a patrol, depending on if I have other slots that I want to fill out or needs that I have. But point is, he's great to take in an auxiliary. He's great to lead a second patrol. With 2 patrols, you got lots of options there. He is my character killer. If I have to take out, a big scary tank, a dreadnought, if I have to take out a Lord Discordant, if I have to take out a Titan, which I haven't been able to get him into melee combat with a Titan yet, but that's okay. Justin, I'm coming for you, bro. He's amazing. He's strong. You put the 5+ feel no pain on him, and then you put the he's already got a 4+ invulnerable. He's tough. He's great. Reaper of Obliterathrax, Heightened Senses, Warlord trait. It makes him great in melee. He can still smite if you need to smite. He can throw his onslaught on other people. He can be the link in the synaptic link range. Look up synaptic link range. It's 12 inches. 2 psychers have to be within 12 inches of each other. But they can chain 1 power to the next person, to the next person, to the next person, to the next person. Not all the powers do it. Smite doesn't do it. A lot of them, it says within synaptic link range. I call it SLR. So within SLR or 18 inches from this model is usually the wording that you see. His synaptic imperative, I think, is Relentless Ferocity, and it allows everybody to charge on the same turn that they fell back. That allows you to drop back and join a different charge, or to drop back a different combat, or drop back and then re-enter the same combat that you're in. And remember when I was talking to you about the charge step, about the fight phase and the charge step? Okay, if you drop back, let's say you drop back 2 inches, because you got to get away from the 1 inch. You got to get away from engagement range. Let's say you drop back 2 inches, and then you charge the person that you just dropped back from. You're going to fight in the charge phase before the fight phase happens. The regular fighters happen. Okay, that's an advantage. And in my opinion, that's what Relentless Ferocity is all about, is dropping back, charging back in, or charging someone different, and getting that advantage. I love the Fly Rant. I love the Walk Rant. These days, I'm taking a Walk Rant before a Fly Rant. But that's just me. One thing I did want to drop for you guys is the points on this bad boy. Let me find my phone here. I know Battle Scribe is dead, but it's still working at the moment, so hey. My Fly Rant, the way that I have my Fly Rant set up, is 230 points. So he's 15 more points than the Walking Hive Tyrant. It's a great model. It's fun to build. It's fun to play. people are afraid of them. People should be afraid of them. But yeah, so this is a little bit of a shorter video. I've got a little bit more experience talking about tyrants. I really enjoy making these. I enjoy telling you what I do, what I see. Got a lot of experience playing Tyranids. I got a lot of experience playing against Chaos and Space Marines and AdMech. And I'm getting more experience playing against Tau. Colin and Justin have Tau now. I've played against some Necrons. I've played against some Imperial Guard. My focus is being a better player. Sometimes I get a little bent out of shape when my dice are not with me, and I got to get on that. I'm just admitting that. I'm putting that out there. I'm not mad at my friends. You know, I don't cry or anything like that. I don't flip the table, but it's frustrating when you've been looking forward to a game and then you're not doing well because your dice are just not with you. This last game I had with Justin, both him and me, our dice were so swingy, just all over the place. There was one time Justin's Possessed came into my Tyrant, my Walk Rant, and like 60 attacks, like 30 some wounds, and I only took 3 or 4. Because between my Invulnerable and my Feel No Pain, I just had 5s and 6s all over the place. And then I rolled like trash for the rest of my saves. I was still learning how to fight a Knight. He had a Chaos Knight. He was playing Word Bearers of Zincht. No, Word Bearers Slanesh, I'm sorry. He was playing Slanesh. Yeah. I'm learning. You always got to be open to learning. Anyways, I really enjoy making these videos. Next is the Neurothrope. I might put together an honorable mention. I love Old One Eye. I can't use him. I just can't use him. He doesn't fit anywhere in a list with me. I try so hard. I love Old One Eye. I love the way my Old One Eye looks. I love the lore. I love the model. I love most of the rules, not all of the rules. But he might get an honorable mention video. But next is the Neurothrope. So you've seen the Walk Rant. Go check that out if you haven't already seen it. This is my Fly Rant. Very proud of him. Very cool model. Very cool unit to have on the table. If this has been helpful to you, if you agree, if you disagree, if you do something different, if you have a question, go ahead and perform a 27-inch charge on the like, subscribe, and comment section. Use your Adrenaline Surge and perform 8 attacks and succeed on all of them. And with the Obliterator, with the Reaper of Oblitrex, go ahead and do 3... 8 and 8 is 16 is 24. 24 plus 8, 32. Do 32 wounds to the like, subscribe, and comment section. And tell me if my math is right, because I just threw that out there in the middle of nowhere. And do you think Tau tastes like cotton candy? I think Tau probably tastes like cotton candy. And then Orcs probably taste like jalapenos. That's my guess. But then I'm just going with green stuff and blue stuff. Anyways... here at the Dragon's Lair, we understand that you have a busy life. You have school and jobs and significant others and kids and all kinds of stuff. So your time is valuable. And we appreciate you and we thank you for spending your time with us at the Dragon's Lair.